Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again today to bring you another episode of Indie Crunch, and today we're looking at Card Hunters. Card Hunters is a game currently in beta that's slated to come out this summer. And as you can tell, I'm just looking through the map right now, it is fairly huge. And what this game is pretty much a combination of a collectible card game slash a D&D campaign. So you kind of go through little campaign modules, and you're DM'd through them, and you have to do a turn-based tactical combat system. So I'm just going to start out by going here and showing you all my characters. So right now I have, I can't even read their names, this guy who is a barbarian warrior, or a dwarfish warrior, Yessik, who is my human mage, and Dugrov, who is my dwarfish paladin. And the abilities that they have, these cards down here, are entirely dependent on what they have equipped. So as you can see, all these abilities go with the current divine weapon. I have a shoddy healing token here, which gives me a bunch of other abilities, and I have, well, I don't have boots here, which is the problem. But that is alright. Here, let me move that back to where it was. And you basically change all of these abilities through your equipment, and as you level up you gain more equipment slots. So later on I'll have maybe another weapon slot or another shield slot or possibly some armor slots hanging out here that I can drag some things on and get some extra weapons. So anyways, let's get into the actual game. As you can see, I've already actually completed a fair amount of everything here. All these timer adventures are things that I've completed, and I think there is an amount of time I have to. You have eradicated this adventure and can't play it until it resets. Yes, it does take a while to replay, but you can eventually replay it. So let's go and do a level 2 adventure. So these adventures are kind of set as a series of encounters. So as you can see, there's a little story here, 2 exciting battles for levels 1 to 4. So I will start out, and then I will get a bit of actual dialogue up here from my DM. A band of filthy trogs have taken residence in a nearby cavern. So Melvin says it's a good learning module for a novice game master. Well, there's quite a bit of meta gaming going on here. So this game does include all the things you would normally expect in Dungeons & Dragons tabletop, like line of sight, hazardous terrain, traps. So any of this terrain, if I move into it, it will actually stop me dead, even if I do have the movement in order to run that far. So I'm going to start out by actually just skipping my first attack. Unfortunately, my cleric here only has move commands. So let's see what happens there. I was really hoping they would move slightly further into my range. This guy only has 10 HP, so I can maybe kill him before he gets in. If somebody moves into the range of your guys, of any of your guys, they have to stop. Unfortunately, I didn't know that these guys have a longer range attack. So let's go ahead and just keep casting spells at him. So right now I'm in an individual round, and it isn't individual turns, which you see me take a few of so far, but this round will go until everybody can't play any more cards or both players pass. And by both players, I of course mean myself and this player here. So let's go ahead and use one more shock here, and that should take out one of the 2 enemies. And this Trog Spearman, for some reason, is just hanging out on top of this debris. Maybe it didn't have enough movement tiles. So I'm actually going to pass my turn, and at the end of your turn, you can only have 2 cards left for each player. So you have to kind of rip up some of your previous cards. There we go. This time I managed to pick up a fire spray. It's not the best spell, but it does do burn damage. I can't actually click there. Yeah, there we go. So first it does the initial damage, then it burns each turn. Unfortunately, that allowed him to attack. So what I'm going to want to do now is actually move to kind of flank this guy on both sides. Unfortunately, I have to stop in these spaces. Oh, I didn't actually want to do that. I accidentally just turned around. Fortunately, since he only has 1 guy left, I should be able to just kind of do whatever I want with him for the rest of this game. So, impressions of the game. Do I like it so far? I've explained how it works. And yes, I do like it. I've been enjoying it a lot, actually. And in the future, they plan to implement cooperative play, which I really like the sounds of. But there are a few things that I don't really like. They really incentivize real money purchases already. And you can very easily play without real money purchases, but it's just kind of in your face a bit too much. Because they go out and say, hey, why don't you spend money on this? Why don't you spend money on that? It isn't just kind of a background thing. So, let me quickly get a spell card shot off there. And after every battle, you get a little aftermath thing. Then you collect your loot, and you have opened the treasure chest. So the treasure chest can come with a couple pieces of loot, but here's the thing that I was just saying that I don't really like. Here is the club reward, and if you want to join the club right here, it is 300 pizza slices for 30 days, and if I go to buy here, 300 pizza slices is 10 bucks, and I would not pay for a month worth of membership here. So, don't want to do that, don't want to be investing in pizza, and don't want to have my one extra reward every time. So even in between battles, like in D&D, you can go ahead and equip other things. Like if I go here, I get a run and a shuffle. And run and shuffle both have special things. Let's see what they are. Run is a good movement, shuffle is unfortunately a really bad movement, but... And some cloth armor. So if I pick this up and keep it in my hand, it will actually block incoming attacks if I roll, or it will mitigate damage if I roll. So it's worth 2 armor, and if I roll +3, I will mitigate 2 damage. So let's take all and continue here, and then I will be starting battle number 2, and of course I get some more dialogue and some more stuff, but like in most RPGs, except for maybe video game RPGs, I tend to just skip all of that. If I had a DM actually reading it out to me, I might not, but... One of the things I actually really like about this game is that it could be quite a good way to actually, like, if you set all this up, you could actually have somebody DMing a game, which would be a lot of fun. So let's see, I have my current wizard who has a good walk token and some decent ranged things. Unfortunately, I don't really have line of sight on anything other than one. Tough hide, oh. Unfortunately, it has damage mitigation. That card doesn't actually get destroyed, so I have to keep trying to roll past its damage mitigation this turn. So they are scuttling quite nicely. And I need to somehow kill them. Bludgeon. Always good to check your cards, because sometimes they have special effects that you're not quite aware of. I'd prefer them to come to me than for me to go to them. So I'm just going to wait for them to get a bit closer here. I can run with you. Let's just go ahead and move one over. Unfortunately, it got a bit closer than I thought it did, so it managed to spear me. I'm going to go ahead and move forward here. And then I should be able to zap one of them. Indeed. Okay, now he's clearly run out of cards, so I'm going to take a step forward and bash the hell out of him. Ow. He had not quite as clearly as I thought run out of cards. That doesn't matter though. Let's go 3, he passed. And then, because I don't have any movement cards left, and I only have attack cards, and nobody's in range, I have to end my turn, and the next round begins. Yeah. So like I said, purchases a bit too over-incentivized. Other than that, I'm really enjoying the game. It really reminds me of D&D in general, and I kind of like the card system. I think you could design a really good board game based on this. I actually need to discard a card. I'm going to discard my weak block card there. You might notice that all the different colors of cards are have different effects. Like these are attacking cards, green are blocking cards, blue are movement cards, and that is it. Slide back 1. So this is a knockback spell. I'd actually wouldn't mind knocking you back, and he failed to block it. So that is always good. Now let's see if I can maybe... I want to move up here because I need to get in range of this guy. Unfortunately, he jumped out of range, so I'm probably going to waste all these attacks that I have. But let's go ahead and spark this guy. And then I will probably get attacked next turn. You might notice I can actually just click and drag around the entire map. And I have noticed that this game does have some optimization issues with it so far. So I actually have to discard a couple cards. I probably should have actually discarded the weak strike there. This pathetic block again. So I did actually pick up a heal here, which I probably wouldn't mind dropping down, especially since I really have nothing better to do with it. So this is a heal that actually only works after damage has been applied for the turn. Oh, it damages and then it heals. Okay, didn't quite understand what that card did. And this guy should die. So I do have a shuffle here. Gonna go ahead and shuffle on forward. I don't like the shuffle card, but it does the trick, I guess. Then I'm just really hoping this particular monster runs out of movement cards. And indeed it did, so now I can chop and bludgeon. The chop ability actually can attack 2 enemies at once, which is why I told you to often check your cards. You can just do that by scrolling up. Again, I will tell you guys where to pick up this game. I'll give you a link in the description below. And right now it's just beta signups, but apparently it is going to be out as a full release pretty soon. And I'm assuming because of all the pay mechanics that it will probably be free. This game actually did get a decent amount of attention at PAX. I think some people from Penny Arcade really liked it. So let's get a quick run. I actually don't need to run. I can just cast both these spells and then give myself quite a large advantage. And also 1, 2... Yeah, I think in D&D rules he could maybe hit my paladin with a spear right now, so I'm just going to move back. And move back again. I wasn't aware that he actually had some move commands left. Let's just move everyone back a lot. He has tons of move commands left. Weird. And you go over here. I just really don't want him to be in range when he draws cards. There we go, he finally passed, so that was his last move command. Let's hope I draw some spells here. Oh, still managed to hit me. Oh well. I'll hit it with a spark right away. It failed its defense roll. So it does 2 damage and heals 4. Huh. Well, you know, I can actually use that to kill his own guy right here, which is kind of awesome. Adventure complete. So now at the end of the adventure, like in D&D again, you gain all the EXP. You might notice I gained a level here with my Barbarian Warrior. And an extra armor slot. Level 3 for him, so I gain an Arcane Skill slot. And level 2 for my, what's it called again? I always forget. Cleric, I guess. And I got a Divine Armor slot. And you might notice that you kind of have standard armor that shows up whenever you acquire a slot. So for that arcane skill, it automatically gave me some things that just weren't very good. And if I can replace that in the future, it'll become much better. And an armor slot. Now I think I actually do have... That's a divine skill, unfortunately, not a divine armor. This is a divine item. Level 3 though, so I can't equip it. That's divine item there. Still don't have a divine weapon either. Arcane item. No, so I actually don't have any equipment yet that I can use, but here I got some common treasure and some uncommon treasure and a uncommon divine item. Now I don't actually know what these do. One of my problems so far with the game is I have a hard time seeing. Yeah, there we go. Plus 2 melee damage to melee attacks, duration 1. So that's actually pretty cool, and actually a considerable amount better than that. So let's go ahead and throw on this berserk item right here. So let's take all and finish. And then I can actually head back to the armory to sell all my stuff. And in the armory you can also buy items if you can't find them naturally. Unfortunately, gold is pretty sparse, and you can trade pizza slices for gold. Now, apparently I have received pizza slices for some reason. There was just a pizza delivery girl. I'm not sure if that is a event that can happen often, or if it just... or if the only way to get pizza slices is by buying them and it happens once. Yes, I know it's full screen. Thank you very much. So I could trade some of my pizza slices into gold. 1 pizza slice equals 11 gold, but you can't do the other way around. So let's go ahead and sell things I don't want. Don't need those, don't need these daggers, I have 2 of them. This wand I'm done with. This I'm not done with. Of course, some of these are just treasure, so they're not very valuable at all. And you might notice that everything has uncommon, rare, common. This is uncommon right here, level 1 for the band-aids. A barrel of pickled herrings. There we go. This is pretty much what I have already. I'm done with this. I don't like this. And zapping headband. What do I have equipped right now instead of that? Oh, 2 different wands. Excellent wand and green wand. So I'll put these back. So right now I am missing an arcane skill. So if I were to just look up here, this is actually a level 5 arcane skill. I'm unfortunately only level 3. So here's some level 5 arcane skills again. Level 5. Are these dwarf skills? So a skill specific to dwarves and only dwarves. That's actually kind of useful. Here's some less expensive arcane skills. Level 2 common arcane skills, so I can just drag this over here. Purchase it. I guess I could have zoomed in first. Attach this card to yourself. Duration 2. Whenever a burning card you control burns, it does 1 additional damage. Cool. Add 1 to any electrical damage. And arcane feedback. At the start of each round, take 1 point of arcane damage. Keep. So this is kind of a weird arcane skill. Let's equip it anyways. And as you can see, you can have a lot of different and varied builds. Now there's one more thing I want to show you, and because of where I am currently, I will be destroyed when I do this. But I can play ranked matches here. Now let's go into the multiplayer keep first, and I can check out my characters and build them up however I want. And I'm good with that, so let's add all 3 to party. You can actually have more characters than this, but you have to get rid of characters. So the first 3 characters are free, then if you want a new character you have to get rid of an old one and gain a new one. So let's exit here. That is my current build. I can play a ranked match. And I will lose horribly here. But apparently for having my first battle, I will actually push number of battles. Okay, there we go. For doing this, I will get some treasure. I don't know what these yellow tiles mean. Victory points are awarded. Oh, so this is like an occupying round. So I think it did actually balance me a tiny bit, so that I could at least compete. But I only have my horrible, horrible spells, and not much range on them either. So let's run with you and get all the way up here. Fortunately, you can't physically attack across water. Okay. They have blessed all 3 of these players. I don't know exactly what the bless did. I probably should have read that. Let's walk forward again. Like I said, the objective right now is to occupy the middle. Devastating Spark. How much damage did that do? That's a lot more than I have, which I should have seen coming. Let's just head over here and prevent them from taking these middle patches. So this is target and discard the oldest card. You discard your oldest card? Here, let's do that. And then I'm actually going to have to pass my turn. Lovely. And now I'm not sure if this has like a time limit or... Oh yeah, it's a point limit up here. So you can see it's the first to 6 stars who wins. And this person is just called Gary. I doubt that's their actual name, or maybe I'm playing against a computer as my first round. But I do have to discard one of my little zaps in order to keep going. So I think the blessing is healing them every turn or making them draw more. Attach this to yourself. Okay, so altruism is a trait. Okay, I understand it now. Cards that you get that are traits, they actually attach themselves to for a certain amount of time when they start. So let's use this bungled bolt. You take 1 arcane damage, but it does 3 damage. Or I could go ahead and... You know, let's go ahead and take some of these territories here. I can run all the way up with you. Tricky stab, unfortunately. Takes my health down quite a bit. And then I'm going to walk with you and walk all the way up here. So I managed to mitigate some of the damage there, so I only took 4 instead of what I should have taken. And then with you, I will try to get as close to here as possible. Fortunately, I can move onto that hard terrain, just because it is currently available. Like I said, at the end of this round, points will be calculated. Unfortunately, I'm kind of stuck. Let's go ahead and just keep zapping the hell out of this guy. Unfortunately, they have considerably better cards than us. I could really use knockback at this point, actually. And let's keep on doing this. I don't like the bungled bolt, but it's better than not doing any damage. And I think I can also attack with you for pretty much everything, so I might be able to actually kill his melee character here. Or at least get pretty damn close before this turn is up. Which is pretty much exactly what I needed. Apparently you can just walk straight into water. I had no idea. So I can also make them discard a card. And that is it for this entire round. So I managed to get a single victory point there. Apparently I actually have to occupy the entire middle for 6 rounds in order to win this match, which is a bit longer than I expected, but you know, we'll make this a slightly longer episode than usual in that case. So what I want to do is get my... First I'll get my wizard to walk just slightly forward here. Trait, reveal all... Oh, I didn't manage to read that. Okay. No idea what that was, but I can now actually walk my cleric slightly forward and take another victory square. And then I should actually be able to kill this guy right here. So let's start with a simple strike, which unfortunately was blocked, so it mitigated all the damage, and they killed my wizard for 2 victory points. So killing actually awards quite a few victory points, which I did not know before. So I'm getting some demonic feedback going around. I'm not even sure. They are managing to kill themselves pretty handily here. So, one of my guys down, one of their guys down. They actually do have a wizard here. No, 2 priests? Okay, no, the wizard is hanging out in the back, which is probably a smart idea. And right now it has a trait where if she takes damage, she instantly heals herself, so that's kind of annoying. But I can just bandage my guy up and then end our turn. I'm not sure if it actually kept all my stats and equipment. I probably should have checked more carefully. So let's pass the turn now. There's nothing really I can do. I think it will give me, yeah, I control the victory location, so I get 1 more. So now I just need to kill one of their players in order to win. And I do have some armor on one of my guys, and not much in terms of damage. Unfortunately, it keeps healing back up to full health every time I do anything. Okay, so her wizard just burnt everyone, which is an interesting move. I guess it does more damage to me than it does to them, but I have to pass my turn now, so I just have to wait for them to run out of cards to play, unfortunately. I control the victory square. I just need 1 more turn like this, and I can actually win. Let's get rid of the unreliable block and get rid of that as well. Unreliable blocks are a horrible card. Fortunately, the cleric here is failing to heal over and over again, which is exactly what I need. Let's go ahead and... Spark generator? I don't know what just happened there. Well, I do know what spark generator is. I actually have that ability. So unfortunately I only have 1 more attack, and then I'm just going to have to hope that if I pass my turn over and over again, they cannot kill me. Although if they're smart, they'll get this wizard over into the victory squares so they can keep me from winning for this turn. Checking victory squares, and I actually do take the victory. Lovely. So that is the multiplayer mode, pretty much just a skirmish mode. Victories today, bonus chest 1, next bonus chest in 2 victory. Let's collect the loot. And here we go, let's see what I get. I actually get some level 12 gear. Oh man, this is a lot of it. So you get power tokens as you level up. I don't have them yet. You can see any power tokens you need when you mouse over an item. So I'm not sure exactly where power tokens come from, but yes, they did indeed scale up my level for the sake of this. And I'm finding like level 12 items now. So apparently the chests you get during the multiplayer are pretty much balanced to the overall balancing level. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you enjoyed the content, please consider throwing a like down, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.